Hey fam, I got asked yesterday a question that was kind of serious enough that I didn't make it straight away because it was coming up to Easter, but I think I would like to say something about it now because I've been doing a little bit of filming anyway and it's been on my mind. So yesterday someone asked me, how do you love your body? And I have a lot to say on body image and I'd love to begin. And if it's not exactly the right time for everyone to hear this, I know there's certainly one person who would be very interested in hearing this. Okay, how do you love your body? Well, for me, one thing that gives me perspective about absolutely everything in life is thinking about the fact that I'm gonna die, we're all gonna die. And it gives me a lot of clarity when it comes to how I feel about my body because I know that nothing lasts. And when people talk about loving their body, what they're really referring to is often loving the look of their body. And that's with the exception of people who might be chronically ill, that there might be feelings there about their body where they don't feel like their body is supporting them. But in general, when people, especially girls, ask me about this, it usually means that they don't love how their body looks. So the big thing that I believe is that when you realize that everything fades, so every cell in your body is going to kind of shrivel up and die, then you realize that these fleeting conceptions of beauty are not going to cut it in the end. Because if we love life and we value life and we appreciate it and we're planning on being around for a while, we need to accept that it's not going to last anyway. Even if we're meeting whatever freaking standard of beauty there is today in terms of our bodies, even if we're meeting it now, it's not going to last. So then, with that knowledge, this is where we cultivate a real love for our bodies. I would recommend loving what your body can do, what it's capable of doing. And when you just literally think about, the very visceral image that we're just like a bag of flesh and blood and organs, and it's kind of gross. When you think about that, it's still miraculous, right? How everything works. And so you can appreciate what it does. And then if that doesn't feel like enough, you can think about a skill that you might be developing, a physical skill. If you're dancing or training in some way, playing a sport, learning a technique of some kind, puppetry, who knows, but your body is the conduit of all that. Your body facilitates that. So you can learn to love and appreciate what it does, not just how it looks. And even if you don't love how it looks, just drawing or turning your awareness to what it can do can offer you a bit of respite in that moment, a bit of a break from the negative feelings. And then again, if you really value life, you can say, hey, my body helps me navigate the world. It takes me places, it takes me through experiences. And then you can be grateful for it. I love you, body, for helping my soul, my spirit travel with me. And, no matter how able you are, we know that our body, even in our moments where we're lying down and can't move, we might be ill. I know certainly I get migraines. There are times where I can't do much, but I'm grateful for my body for being alive, keeping me alive, and facilitating my consciousness, like just running so I can think and experience the wonder of being human and the world and, all the complexities which make life interesting. So I'm really grateful to my body for that. Thinking about what your body can do, thinking about it being the vehicle for the life you live, can change your relationship with your body. And it doesn't mean that it's not going to be hard to, when you think about how your body looks and all that, but it offers a different perspective. And then just to address that, when it comes to how we look and standards of beauty and all that, it's really important to reframe. So if you feel like you're not a certain way in terms of today's standards or today's media images of how you should look in any way, well, just flip the context. So if you look the way you looked, a decade ago, 2 decades ago, would that be okay in that context? A century ago, would that be okay? We know that, for example, voluptuous women, like back in the day, it was a sign of health, wealth, vitality, femininity. And then maybe during like the 90s, like being really skinny was kind of in. And I know absolutely stunning girls who hate that they can't seem to put on weight. And if they were back in those days, they might be like, oh, well, I'm meeting standards of beauty. Then, of course, today, there's a big emphasis probably on being strong, being thick, all of that. And, that wouldn't have even been a thing years and years and years ago, decades ago, centuries ago. So we need to understand that when it comes to signs of beauty, health, and all that, it's all subject to change. And we don't want to pin ourselves down to attaching ourselves to things like that change so easily, that are so fickle. We should focus on, what's constant. So how we experience our bodies, how we enjoy them, what we can do with them when we try, and what they do for us naturally. And again, sometimes it doesn't mask completely the pain of not looking like, whatever comes up on the media. And we just want to keep it in the forefront of our minds that life does not happen in a vacuum. Like, we're always, the only reason we ever feel bad is because we're comparing ourselves to something that's considered the norm or in fashion, or something that's always, at the forefront, something that's always very visible to us. So if we were back in kind of like the primal days, we wouldn't have this same level of judgment. And so we need to always try to disconnect from that whenever we can, and just say, yes, I don't always look like what's presented in front of me, but this is all being constructed and perpetuated by the media. And if it was a different time, a different place, well, the way I am would be fine, would be sexy, it would be desirable. And if it was in another place, maybe it wouldn't be. And that's all fickle. But I do know that my body is here with me right now. And for whatever it is, I can appreciate it. And I can shine a light on what I appreciate instead of thinking what I hate. And then, I think that a big job for all of us is to be honest about things. Say when we don't feel good, and then try to show ourselves and be real, but without making that seem like fake or too constructed or any of that. But just say things like this every now and then. Hey, I know you might not be feeling good in your body today, but what is your body doing for you today? How is it looking after you? How is it supporting you? Where is it going to take you today, in a year, etc.? And if we can talk like this, maybe someday we'll be right with all of it, and we won't be so shallow. I have a lot more thoughts, but I think that will do for now. And I hope this gives somebody a different way of looking at things. And if you need to talk about this at all, please reach out. I am here for you. Okay, bye. I need to do a part 2 because there was something else I wanted to say that I never got to. The old way of using the word love, as you may or may not know, was always about the action of showing love. So it wasn't as much about the feeling of feeling love, but showing it. And so what I would also say to the person who asked me this, or anybody who wants to know how to love your body, is find more ways of showing your body that you love it. And I have some different ideas for this. So number one, you can do it by being healthy and honoring your body by putting good food in it. And if you need to take your vitamins, take your vitamins, drink water, and of course, exercise, move your body. And then just further to what I was saying before, finding ways of being strong or more skilled, and try to build up your skills or your strength or any other area, your flexibility, a little bit by little bit. Because I know so many people who've worked on what they're capable of physically, and they start to love their bodies for what their bodies can do and the way their bodies support them. And they begin to feel proud of themselves in that regard. And anytime you feel that sense of pride attached to your body, you're starting to forge more feelings of self-acceptance and love towards it. So I would say definitely work on a skill that involves your body. And I know I alluded to this before. For some people, it's a whole experience. It might be, learning drums, like an instrument of some kind that's physical in its own way. That might be it. You can also show your body love through like relaxation, or really sensual or sensuous tasks, like having a really nice bath, or the way you put moisturizer on your body, just taking your time with it. So that can be a really nice way to show your body that you love it as well, investing the time. And just like with all of our love languages, there are many ways to show love, and it could be investing money in it. So investing money in what you buy to either put in your body or how you use it. For me, I pay a PT because I need that. I need that for my motivation, and I invest money in it. And that's how I'm showing my body I care about my body, because I'm willing to pay. And for some people, it's taking time. And yesterday I posted about having a slow breakfast, and that could be my way of showing my body that I love it. I'm willing to slow down with it. And, the baths, moving, like really exploring how your body moves. I think also being curious about your body and inquisitive in that way, and just enjoying the different things it can do, or just seeing. And that's a real honoring, because you're switching your attention again to what you can bring to the experience of your own body, instead of using those external kind of judgments or external comparisons to work out how you feel about it. No, just play with it, see what you can do with your body, show it love through how you treat it, and soon that verb, that action, might end up being a feeling. That was all I wanted to say for part 2. Again, reach out if you want to go deeper with this. Of course, we can do that. And, till then, just share these videos with somebody who needs it. Okay. Love you, fam. Bye.